I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday to you all. Hope you all had a nice Sunday, and I did. 2-0 conference championship Sunday. You love to see it. After I had that brutal wild card weekend, right? That Monday, I got the Rams and under. Since then, it's been it's been going well. I think I've only had one losing day since then. Like, things have been going well. Also, did well in Las Vegas when I was out there, made some bets, won some money. So, yeah, on a nice little run here, especially Conference Championship Sunday, two of the biggest games of the year. Got them both. You love to see it.
And they were good games. That was
the
Eagles game got a little out of hand, but I mean, for the most part.
No, but that game was not. It was a lot more interesting than the final score indicates.
Right.
It was.
Yeah.
I will say the refs rigged it for the Chiefs crowd is out and about. I don't know how you overturn that fourth down. I mean, it's unfortunate. I think he might have got it, but it's not. That's not how it works. There has to be conclusive evidence, and there isn't. That's why I don't understand what everyone's so mad at. I think it's unfortunate because when it first happened live, I thought he had the first down. Then when they showed the replay, I was like, oh shit, I don't think you can overturn that. So I thought they called it right. People just hate the Chiefs, man. So
yeah. I thought it was right too. So
all right. I got 6 college basketball games queued up. It's Monday, so it's not a loaded day or anything, but there are a few games. First one up is Penn State, Michigan minus 8.5. Wow, I guess Michigan is 8.5 points better than Penn State this year, aren't they?
I guess if they're on, yeah. I played the over personally, over 159.5. I'm just not in love with laying points against them with this Michigan team. They're just so volatile. I mean, they shoot a lot of threes. They turn the ball over a lot, and if they're shooting their threes well, they look good. I mean, they're one of the most effective offenses in the country. There's no doubt about it. But their turnover percentage really puts a damper into that. So, and they're facing a Penn State team that's been pretty damn good, and they've also faced some really good competition. I mean, facing teams going back to even Indiana, who's top 60 in KenPom and adjusted defensive efficiency, probably if not better. If not better. Illinois is number 12, Oregon 42, Michigan State 18. So again, seeing a Michigan team that's like in the mid 30s, I don't think it's going to be really well. And then not to mention the fact that both these teams play at two of the fastest paces in the country, top 25 at least. I'm sorry, not two of the fastest, but Penn State 25, Michigan number 18 as far as average possession length. So both teams shoot free throws pretty well too. So I think that everybody could agree that you can trust both offenses, and then both defenses it kind of can be hit or miss. So I played the over here.
It was I had the graphic wrong, so the total is 159.5. Toast is on the over. Trev, what are your thoughts?
I can't really argue with them. Penn State, the turnovers are really going to help them if Michigan's doing what they normally do and just giving the ball away. But, man, I mean, that Friday night game at Purdue, they got shellacked. I think coming home, I think they're going to put on a really good game. I like the 8.5 laying it with them. I think they come out and they win by double digits. This Penn State team has been all right. Nothing like amazing. They've lost 5 of their last 6. Yes, they've been in tight games, but I think this Michigan angle with them coming home, getting shellacked, and then they got to hit the road again. I think they're going to come up and play a good game, but I am going to play Danny Wolf over 4.5 assists, going back to the well here. You got a Penn State team that let me pull this up exactly. Their assist to field goal percentage, 65% in conference play. That's up from 63% in the non-con. So they're giving up more assists. They're also 346 in the country at opponent assists given. and that's up to 18 a game on the road. So I think Danny Wolf, he had a horrible game at Purdue. I think he comes back, plays a really good game, and they score points here against a Penn State defense that's not that great. They do force turnovers, but other than that, that's about all they really do great on defense. So I think there's going to be a lot of Danny Wolf assists here. So I took the plus money over 4.5. Might even juice it up and parlay it with the Michigan money line to get a better number.
Danny Wolf's on Michigan. I put him in Penn State color. Wags actually said what I was thinking based on what you guys said. He said he likes the Michigan team total over.
I was just about to say, took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to point out that Penn State, home or on the road, it doesn't really matter. In Big Ten play, gave up 91 to Illinois, 82 to Oregon, 90 to Michigan State, 72 to Rutgers, and Rutgers is really, really bad. So they're definitely susceptible to giving up points, that's for sure. Purdue scored 81 against them or something like that.
All right.
Scored 91.
Or 91, yeah.
I am not going to bet that one. Let's move on to the next one. And I'm down to place a bet in this one. I kind of want to just hear your guys' thoughts. So this Iowa team, now obviously, as you guys know, I don't really get into college basketball till January, so I'm just now getting a feel for these teams. But this Iowa team kind of reminds me of the Indiana Pacers in a sense that you don't want to lay a big number with them because they can't play defense, but if they're getting a big number, you can take it because they could score with anybody.
100% agree. I mean, Trev can go first. I don't understand how Iowa State is not. I mean, they started at 6.5. I'm pretty sure. I could be a little bit wrong. Maybe it was 7.5. But I mean, they're catching money here, and I don't. I mean, they're probably a little bit better than Iowa. I will give everybody that. But are they? I mean, 9 points. You're going to cover by 9. Like, I don't know about that.
I'm putting Iowa up for me because if one of you guys co-signs it, I'd be down to take it.
I like the Ohio State side on this one. I know they're off of the Purdue win on the road, but that was a week ago. 6 days ago by the time they play this. They came home, they partied, they did their thing with the football team. But I don't know this for sure, but you've got to imagine the football team's going to be there. They're going to parade that trophy around. That place is going to be hyped. It's going to be loud as shit.
You fit in so
Iowa
well
plays
with
no
that.
defense. It's true. Like if they don't I don't know what they're doing if they don't show up with that trophy, but I think they show up. Iowa defense, nothing to write home about whatsoever. Now you're going to hit the road. Ohio State, we just saw them take down Purdue. They've played all right, not amazing this year, but I think this is a big get-up spot. So I mean, I'd be fine laying it with Ohio State or the team total over 82.5. I think they're going to get buckets on this Iowa team, and especially if that trophy and that team does show up, that place is going to be just unglued. With how loud and excited they all are. So I think Ohio State starts off hot and it just keeps building from there and they just run Iowa off the floor.
Okay, so we got Rod in the comments. Rod looks like he's on Iowa. Bet against Michigan after allowing 80 or more points. Michigan's record since last season, 1-17.
They play Ohio State.
Oh, bet against Michigan. He's talking about the last game. My bad. Same colors with the yellow. Juice is on Iowa with me. So, all right, it's just me and Juice on Iowa here. Real quick, Wesker says, can someone explain to me why West Virginia is ranked 23 after losing back-to-back games against community colleges? The rankings update on Monday, right?
They update, and who cares about the rankings?
1
through 25
West
really
Virginia's been good.
Absolutely nothing.
I always say that is, and what I'm saying, and I'm talking about college football, but the deeper a fan you become of college sports, the less you care about I remember, rewind 15 years, and I would look forward to the top 25 coming out, and now, I don't even know who's around. I don't even look at it anymore. But yeah, Toast.
I would say over or pass. If Ohio State, if Trevor's right and Ohio State should be able to blow them out or thinks they're going to win by 10, they're going to score some points. I trust Iowa to score some points. The only thing that was kind of holding me back with laying numbers with Ohio State is that they're one of the worst offenses, if not the worst offense in the conference right now. But to their point, they're going to be facing an Iowa offense that's ranked 156 on KenPom, and the previous teams they faced: Purdue 22, Indiana 69, Wisconsin 50, Oregon 42, Michigan State 18. So again, this is a pretty significant step down in class with Iowa, who's just an absolutely atrocious defensive team. So I would lean over if anything.
G is in the comments. He said the over is 14-6 in Ohio State home home games. They haven't played 20 home games. He must be dating back to last year, right? Have they played 20 home games? Are we that deep into the season?
Not this year. They played like 20 games total, maybe 19 games.
Yeah, they played 11 home games.
So that must be dating back to last year, 14-6 to the over in the last 20.
I mean, another point to that team total. Ohio State hasn't scored 82 since a double overtime game, January 6th. And prior to that, it was Indiana State, December 29th. So I feel like it's high for a reason. They're going to get buckets on that team.
I kind of was hoping you guys would co-sign my Iowa pick there.
They just keep, dude. That Iowa team just keeps burning me, dude. Like I had them minus 2.5, and not that I should deserve the cover, but it was like what, Trevor? What, 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock?
Yeah, he should have made those, man.
He went to the line to shoot free throws, missed him. It's just missed them both, actually. Whatever. They suck, dude. They suck.
I don't know how much time you guys want to spend on this one. NC State, Duke. If we're talking about a 22-point line.
I don't know, man. The only reason is that Duke continues to find ways to win. That's again, they're just so good. So again, NC State's been absolutely terrible. So maybe there's a little.
I know they lost Burns, the big guy, but did they lose everyone from that team?
I mean,
because that team went on a run. Like, what was that? 9 months ago? 10 months ago?
Yeah, it's few and far between. They've lost, I think, like 8 of their last.
Horn's gone too.
Yeah. I mean, they're in pretty bad shape, to say the least. I mean, yeah. Again, I don't know if I'm laying these numbers with Duke, but at the same time, I really wouldn't be too worried about it if you're gung ho to play Duke, because they pretty much win every game by 20. It seems like, and at this point, it doesn't really seem to be stopping. So the only thing that the only angle that for me for NC State is that both these teams play at somewhat of a slower pace. And Duke has North Carolina on deck. North Carolina's terrible, so I don't even think that really matters that much.
No, that matters. That matters.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. So maybe that's an angle, but it would. There's no way I would do it with NC State.
So Duke or pass? I'll put.
Yeah.
Trev?
Duke, their season was ended by none other than NC State last year twice, the ACC tournament and in the actual tournament. So I don't think they're going to be unprepared for this game. And we look at Duke at home. I mean, they blow, other than that Notre Dame game where Notre Dame just got hot the last 4 minutes and couldn't miss a three. No, they've blown everybody up by 20 plus. I mean, 54 points. Notre Dame had 78 because they scored a bunch late. 65, 56, 47, 46, 78 to Auburn, 48. I mean, they hold teams down defensively. And both of these teams play pretty slow, so I'm tempted to play that NC State team total under. I think it's 56.5 or something. It's disgusting, but I mean, they're going to be motivated for this, especially after how their season ended last year to this team. I don't think you can go wrong either way. I think this is going to be like a 76 to like 52 game. I think they're just going to destroy them entirely. I don't think NC State stands a chance in this one. I know they have UNC on deck, but UNC almost just lost to Boston College. So I think they're kind of looking forward to this one, getting their revenge a little bit more.
Yeah, I was going to say. And to that point with the team total under, Duke is like one of the best, if not the best defensive team in the country. And they're the biggest team in the country. NC State, one of the smaller teams in the country as well. So, yeah.
Couple things in the comments here. So Rod's saying he likes the over. Rod also is on Ohio State in the last game, too. Anyone else? I doubt. Isaiah Curry's in there. He likes the over as well. So a couple people on the over in the comments. Let's move on to the next game. All right. So the next two are the two games you guys have bets on, and the last game is actually one I'm interested in. The Ohio State-Arizona game, I think, is cool. But this one, who said? I think it was Trev said he had a bet on this one. Yep.
I know. Yep. I already knew. As soon as you sent it over, I asked him because I knew why it was. But I'll let you go. That was a good one.
Yeah, this is a pretty simple cap for me. Basically, in conference play, I do spot betting for the majority of it. I don't look too much into analytics and whatnot because these teams all know each other. Coaches know each other. It is what it is. But you've got I believe it's 3 and 4 team here in Northeastern. I can look
Correct.
up exactly 3 and 4.
Yep,
laying points at home against a Towson team who's 6-1 in conference play here. I think they get them. I mean, it's easy enough. They just beat Drexel, big win. They followed this up with Hampton, so they don't have anything to look forward to. I think they can put all their eggs in this basket, get this one. And they got Elon and Hofstra coming up too also. Hofstra who also beat them. So I think they're going to go on a little run here, kind of get their way back into conference play a little bit. But unfortunately, they do have 4 losses already. So that kind of separates them from William and Mary and Drexel and whatnot. So, or Towson. So I think they get this game. You know, they fight. They put up a good effort towards the end of the season here. But I fortunately think they have too many losses to win the conference. But if they want a fighter's chance, they have to get this game. So I took the money line. I think they get them. I think this line's telling you, and a lot of people are going to take Towson with that defensive prowess, and their offense has been better, but they also have shown just late eggs games on the road. So give me Northeastern here on the money line.
Based on what you said, it seemed like this would be a game that people are going to be betting Towson, right? And they're an underdog.
It's a more it's a more well-known and household name.
Well known, and Towson has lost what, 1 game in a month and a half or so. So
yeah, Charleston, January 4th.
Yeah. So the only thing that I wanted really to point out as far as the Northeastern game is that they played Towson pretty damn well to start the first time that these two teams played earlier at half, and then they just kind of melted away in the second half. I have a hard time believing that happens the second time around, now that this team, talking about Northeastern, has found a little bit of momentum, like Trevor said, after that win against Drexel. So I agree on the spot alone, and that I think that number is quite telling as well. So I definitely lean Northeastern. I didn't bet it yet because like I said, told Trevor earlier, I want to see what it is in the morning. If they're still favorites, great, but I want to see if a whole bunch of people bet Towson, and maybe I can get a better number. But that's the only reason that I haven't bet it yet.
Well, Rod is definitely on Towson. He's got 2 trends.
Rod. Jesus.
Come on, Rod. He says bet against Northeastern after playing a game as a home favorite since last year, 1-10 against the spread. He also says bet against Bill Cohen, who I'm assuming is the Northeastern head coach. He says bet against him on the money line after 4 straight games where the opponent grabbed 31 or less rebounds. 5-20 against. That's vintage Rod right there.
Those are some crazy stats. I love it.
Wags is in the comments saying he likes the over in this one, 132.5. Alfred says Northeastern. TWD says Towns. I'm assuming he meant to type Towson.
Right. Wags, I can see that over for sure, because if Northeastern's playing well like we think, they should be pushing the pace compared to what Towson's used to, or likes to do, I should say.
Stavros says Northeastern lock. Use the word lock.
Attaboy Stavros. Stavros knows ball.
All right, let me write that down.
Also, one other thing to point out about Northeastern is that they've been a little bit rocky over the last month, but they also played like 6 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight away games as well. So at home, they definitely haven't been nearly as bad. And Hofstra, who killed them at home, is much better than Towson. But anyway.
Oh yeah. Hofstra will slow you down and grind you out. 37 was crazy though.
I thought for sure UCLA was going to lose that last game against Washington. Actually, right before I went to the airport in Las Vegas, I got a Washington money line ticket and I gave it to Ski because I had to leave. I thought for sure UCLA was losing that game. Washington did cover if you got the 5.5. Landed on 5. Now UCLA still on the road against USC. Is the basketball rivalry serious between these two?
I don't want to say it's serious, but it's all right. I mean, coaches leaving and stuff kind of sucks, but I would say it's a little bit decent, especially both teams obviously being in California. So there's got to be something there.
Well, I know that you have a bet in this one.
I do have a bet in this game. I bet USC. I think that USC has been playing extremely, extremely well, especially over the last month. They ran into a buzzsaw in Wisconsin. They kind of got blown out of the water there, but I'm really impressive win going against Iowa, going on the road and beating Illinois after kind of getting embarrassed by Indiana. I mean, the Michigan game, it is what it is. Michigan shot I think over 40% from deep, 61% from the field. The USC defense essentially from that game has gotten exponentially better. And now they're going to be facing a UCLA team that we just saw in Washington get a little bit rocky. And I think that USC is much, much better than this Washington team. So USC also has a lot of very good history against this UCLA team at home. I think they've beat them going back to 2019 at home. It's a spot that I've continued to play over over the years. We actually went to this game as a family. I'm dead serious. We've gone to this game as a family 3 times. I like the fact that USC has the length to match up with this team. You also know that UCLA, one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country. UCLA, a top 100 free throw shooting team in the country. I think that the height is going to negate the fact that USC doesn't really do a good job on the offensive rebounds, but UCLA forces a whole bunch of turnovers, but it's not like UCLA is turning the ball over a ton. So in conference play, it doesn't look good, but overall it's been all right. So again, another road game for UCLA. We know we've talked about them, how much they've had to travel. So if they can get up again for this road game, so be it. But I took the 1.5 with UCLA, or USC.
Well, yeah, I mean, this line's kind of all over the place because I think FGM has USC favored by 1.5, and then Caesars has them catching 1.5. So this is just circling.
I paid 120 for my plus 1.5 just for the record, so I didn't get a straight 110.
Okay. I kind of like that pick, Trev. Do you like it too?
Yeah. If I could get a USC plus 1.5, that'd be better. But otherwise, I'll lay the money line with it. I like he said, USC's been playing a lot better in that Michigan game. Michigan shot well. I mean, USC managed to get themselves back into that game. I believe they took the lead or it was tied late, and then just snowballed, and Michigan ended up coming up top. The Indiana game, that was before students were back, but it was sorority rush week. So those guys were up, ready to go. Play good, look good for the girls, and go from there. So that was my whole angle on that game, why I faded USC, and it worked out. But yeah, like you said, Wisconsin, great team. The rest of them, they did beat Illinois on the road too. They've been playing a lot better. UCLA, Tyler Bilodeau, shout out my guy Clark. He dropped this. I totally forgot that Bilodeau rolled his ankle or something last game. He didn't play after about 5 minutes. So they brought in that big Mara kid, but USC's got the size download to bang with that, and I don't think they'll be caught off guard like Washington was with that one. And great Osabar also gets in foul trouble, so that kind of hurt them a little bit. But I think USC's been playing better ball. I know UCLA's hitting the road here, but it's like 12 miles. So, I mean, it is what it is if you want to consider it a road game. But I like Muss late season too. Like his teams just figure it out. So I think they will. I think they'll catch a big win here. And I think a lot of people are just buying into USC a little too much for winning a couple of games here. When I think the team you should be buying right now is USC. I think they're going to start figuring it out and get it going.
I'm putting it up.
Also, this is a big game for the Big Ten Conference, and as far as the standings, because UCLA is 5-4, USC is 4-4. There's a lot of teams: Illinois, Maryland, Oregon, UCLA. All those teams have 4 losses in conference. So if USC gets a win here, they put themselves in a pretty good position going forward.
Okay, so in the comments, we're kind of split here. So Wags is on UCLA. Rod says bet on Matt Cronin on the money line.
Okay. Rod, now we're cooking.
His record off a win against a conference rival. Cronin's record as coach of UCLA is 51-17. He also says bet UCLA on the money line off 2 straight wins against conference rivals, 17-4 since 2023. Juice is with us.
We're battling.
Juice is on USC with us. Let's see. Anyone else? Wag said UCLA. Scroll up. G's on UCLA. Alfred saying lean in USC. TWD is on USC. All right. Last game up, and I don't have a lean or anything, but I just know this is a cool game, and I'm down to bet it if you guys have anything. You got the Clones as short road favorites here. Now, if I remember correctly, Arizona has been playing a much better brand of basketball the last 3-4 weeks than they have first couple months of the year, correct?
100%.
So do you think this line is a reflection of the way the entire body of work here, or just the last few weeks because they're still home dogs?
I think it's a little bit of both. I also think it's the fact that Iowa State has been a little bit vulnerable away from home. Going back to the Colorado game, I mean, they didn't cover. I mean, I guess the line got bought down, but at 10.5, they didn't cover in that game. And I know that this game is not 10.5, but my point is that they didn't play, like, they're not blowing Colorado out. Arizona's a much better team. Then they go on the road to Texas Tech. They win a lucky game in overtime in that game. Then they play home. Then they go on the road to West Virginia. They lose that game. They come home. They win against UCF. They kill them. And they go on the road again to Arizona State. And that game was very, very close till the end. And then in the last 10 minutes of the game, I think they went on a 26-9 run or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but I think anybody that had an Iowa State ticket yesterday or that day didn't think they were covering until the last 3 minutes of the game. So I just feel like you're getting Iowa State at a very, very high price in the marketplace. And I think some teams are a little bit sleeping on Arizona and how they've played. So I like the fact that Arizona can play with the same pace as Iowa State as well. I think the Arizona defense is much better than people want to give them credit for. I think they've been just as good as in conference as Iowa State has been. They can match free throw wise. That's a big thing. They can match Iowa State with size. I really like Arizona at home here today. I think the students are going to be back. I think that place is going to be going crazy. I talked to Trevor about this one earlier. I think that he leans the same way. But yeah, I already bet Arizona plus 1.5.
Juice is on Arizona too in the comments. He commented about it 3 times. He must really like it.
Yeah, I'm on Arizona too. I've been an Iowa State merchant. I've been betting these guys like crazy, and all their road games they should not cover in the last 4 minutes. They find a way.
Ridiculous,
dude. That Arizona State game, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, ain't no way they're gonna cover this 9.5 somehow. But they did. It was it felt good, but they definitely didn't deserve that cover. I mean, you look on the road, like I said, that Arizona State game, they were down. West Virginia got them. Texas Tech overtime. Colorado, they pulled away the last 4 minutes of that game too to cover the 9.5, 9. Iowa, they pulled away the last 4 minutes and ended up covering that game. So, I mean, and then the Dayton game, they were down and they came back, and that was in Maui. I mean, just when they've had left home, they've gotten lucky. I mean, I guess, you could argue they find a way. It's a good team. But I don't know if they'll do that. Arizona's going to get rocked in the McHale Center or Arena, whatever they call it. That place is going to be loud, high total. This Iowa State defense on the road hasn't been amazing. And this is their first back-to-back road game of the year too. So anytime they hit the road, they go right back home, but not this time. I know it's probably not a crazy trip. I don't know how far Tucson and Tempe or wherever the hell they are, but I think they're going to kind of struggle here. I mean, it's just a matter of, I think you're betting like, are they going to find a way the last 4 minutes? And I don't think so. Exactly. Arizona's got good guards. They got size down low. They've got 2 7-footers to kind of keep Jefferson and forget the other guy's name. The other big guy, Chatfield, out from down low. So I think they'll be fine. In this high total, I mean, this kind of, to me, tells like Caleb Love is just going to go nuclear, just like have one of those games where he just doesn't miss. He goes like 11 of 16 from the floor with like 6 threes, and they just kind of pull it away. So if I were to bet a prop, I would like Caleb Love, not Caleb Williams, Caleb Love points here. But I'm going to be on Arizona too. I'm just going to wait and see where this goes because I'm seeing Arizona -1 offshore here where I kind of got to do my gambling. So I'm going to let it go, see where it goes. Hopefully it flips. I can catch a 1.5 or so and just take Arizona with that.
I think I might tail Wags on this one because it kind of goes. He's on the over, and you could still get a 151.5, but it looks like some folks have bumped it up to 152.5. And both of you mentioned Iowa State's defense being a concern here, so I think I'm going to put an over up for me.
Yeah. I don't hate that at all.
I really like the Iowa. I can't believe neither of you guys co-signed my Iowa. That's the one I wanted to bet was Iowa.
Because I've been burned by them so much. Everything about that game agree 100%. That's why first thing I said was, why is Ohio State laying 8.5, 9 points? But Iowa just continues to burn me in ways that it's, yeah.
All right, I might take this over. So hold on, let me write down. So Northeastern, I'm going to bet USC. I'll probably, no.
Fight on.
I might bet an Arizona team total over, actually.
Yeah, what is that?
It's probably going to be 75.5, right? Or 76?
It is, according to DraftKings, it is 75.5, yep. -125 in the over.
That kind of I tail you and Wags at the same time. Kind of tails both you guys are saying. By the way, Rod's on Arizona as well. He's laying 2.5 at +120. Rod's alt spread in Arizona.
Jesus, Rod, relax.
Rod.
It's midnight.
Whoa, well, there are kids watching, Rod.
Okay.
To his point, I mean, Iowa State has been down in these games. So, I mean, if they aren't going to find a way to come back, they're going to lose this game by like 6, 7 plus, at least, I think, in my opinion, because they've been trailing by a fair amount. I mean, Arizona State they had them down by double digits. So if I like Arizona. I think that's got a good chance of covering too. I don't think this comes down to a buzzer beater shot.
I was gonna say, I think one of the better comps in this game, or that Iowa State's already played, is that Iowa game, because Iowa plays the same type of pace. They were kind of up for that game defensively. And again, if it wasn't for the last 10 minutes of the game, Iowa State outscoring Iowa 30-16, that game's probably pretty close. So again, I just don't see that happening against Arizona.
Cool. I'm going to bet this team total over. Yeah, that's it. 6 games. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We're going to try to get Trev on for the midnight show as much as we can, as much as his schedule allows. So, yeah, I mean, Tuesday and Wednesday are usually the best college basketball days. So we'll be back tomorrow, same time. Everyone enjoy your night. Hope you made some money today in the NFL. Remember to bet responsibly. Hit me up in the Discord if you need me. Later, guys.